Hey MLK School of the Arts artists, welcome to week 6 of our distance learning online for art class. This week we're going to stick in the theme of drawing, and we're going to also stay in the theme of landscape. So last week you guys did a line landscape which included mountains and a sky, and we know that landscape is anything from outdoors. So anytime you're drawing something outside, it is a landscape. So this week we're going to continue with the landscape, but I want to teach you about a really easy drawing trick that you can use to show three-dimensional perspective on a two-dimensional piece of paper. So we're going to be learning about perspective this week, and perspective is when we show depth on a two-dimensional surface. So how on a flat piece of paper can we draw something that looks like it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going? It's a very easy trick to do in drawing. So we are going to focus on that this week, and we are going to learn how to show depth on a flat surface through changing the size of things on the paper. So let's get to it. All right, so for our perspective landscape, we are gonna make sure our paper is horizontal, not vertical. So go ahead and make sure your paper is horizontal. And we are going to start with a horizon line. And we should know by the word horizon which type of line it's gonna be. It's gonna be a horizontal line. So find the middle of the paper on the side and just go ahead and make a line. It doesn't have to be a perfect line. I'm gonna start with pencil. I always like using pencil, that way I can erase if I need to, and then I go over it later with markers if I want to. So I have my horizon line. It's gonna be the ground, and I'm not gonna worry about a perfect straight edge. If you want to, you can use a ruler. And then I'm going to start in the corner here, and I'm gonna make a road. And when we talk about perspective, things get smaller as they get farther. And we're gonna do kind of a dirt road, so it's gonna be not completely straight. And we're gonna start it thicker, and it's gonna get smaller as it goes in the distance. Right, so I have my horizon line. I have my road that gets smaller as it goes off in the distance. Now I'm gonna draw some mountains or hills. You can decide. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna do some diagonal lines. They could be kind of similar to what you did last week. I'm gonna have them drop to where my road goes. Now, we're gonna do a desert. So that means we're gonna have some cactus. And since I'm gonna use cactus, I'm gonna draw them large, and then they're gonna get smaller as we go farther away. So just by changing the size of our cactus, we are showing perspective or depth on a flat surface. So I'm going to include in Google Classroom this week this how to draw a cactus if you would like a step-by-step guide. But I'm gonna plan out my cactus, and I'm gonna use vertical lines to do so. So I want the closer ones to me to be larger. So I'm gonna make this one actually cross the horizon line. And I'm just gonna draw the vertical line to kind of give me an idea of how many I am going to do. So as I go back and analyze, I feel like if that one's farther away and smaller, it probably shouldn't go taller than this one. So I'm gonna erase. Okay, so I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cactus. And then I think I'm going to maybe draw one here, and it'll be big as well because it's closer to me in the perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this one, and I'm gonna round the top and then do a matching or copycat line, vertical line. Then I'm gonna give it a curved line and a matching on one side. And cactus typically don't have the same on each side. They kind of alternate. So I'm just gonna make sure I alternate. And I'm gonna leave this one at 3. Now, if you notice, I crossed over my horizon line that I already drew. So I'm just gonna go ahead and erase the horizon line going through my cactus because the cactus is in front of the horizon line. So we wanna make sure we get rid of that line. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna add some rocks here, maybe a plant, cactus plant. Maybe some rocks over here. And I'm gonna make them smaller as they get farther away. All right. So once you're done, it should have larger cactus here, medium, getting smaller, smaller, and smaller to smallest. This shows that my road keeps going farther in the distance. Such an easy trick. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some details before I color. All right, now that I am done with my drawing, I added some details in the road, I have my cacti, I have the mountains and the sky. Now it's up to you. Do you want to use crayons, color pencils, markers? So I would like for you to color your landscape. Now you can do sunrise or sunset, but maybe color the sky. You can color the cacti. Now remember, this can be realistic, meaning it's gonna look as real as possible. Dirt would be brown, cacti would be green, the sky would be blue, but it doesn't have to if you don't want to. You might wanna make it surreal, meaning not real. Use your imagination. Maybe the sky is purple and maybe the cacti are green or yellow or orange or pink. Do whatever you want. Use your imagination. It should not look exactly like mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in, and then we'll see when I come back what it looks like. So I'm ready now for the mountains, and I made these lines like we did with last week's, and then I'm gonna put everything on this side of the line. The right side of the line is gonna be my highlight, so I'm gonna make sure it's a lighter color, and then everything on the left side of that line is gonna be the shadow, and it's gonna be a darker color. Then you can see that I made all of my cacti different colors just for fun. So I made some blue mountains and I made the line, did the right side light blue, the other side dark blue, and then I added purple on the left of the lines just to give it some depth or highlight and shadows. When I colored in the dirt, I thought it still seems kind of plain. And then I thought, well, we should put some shadows in on the cactus. So I think I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna make my horizon line a little bit more defined. I used only crayons for this project. I was maybe gonna mix it up, but once I started, I really liked how the crayons were turning out. So I decided to do the whole thing in crayons. I put purple on the shadows of the rocks. Really, any darker color would work for shadows. We could do green, we could do blue, we could do violet, we could do purple. Any darker color is gonna make shadows. Even black, but I would say maybe not for black. It shouldn't always be the obvious choice. So I'm just gonna come in here and make some flat shadows. Now, I want them probably to go the same direction that my mountain shadows were, which means the darker colors to the left of the line. So I'm gonna make some shadows to the left of my cacti. Now, the taller they are, they're going to have kind of a longer shadow. That gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit underneath. I think I'm gonna go back in and make these lines a little bit darker. So when you get to the end, you'll want to kind of just check it out and see where you can add some enhancements. We should always do that as artists, kind of take a look and see what you want to add to it. Step up or hold your paper up and look at it and see what else you should change. Now, before you want to copy this exact same thing, you guys know I never want you to do the exact same thing. I want you to use your imagination, do whatever you want as the artist. So your sky could be any colors you want. You can have clouds or no clouds. Your mountains could be any color you want. Your cacti could be any color you want. You might have different things on your road. You might have different things in your sides of the road. You can make rocks or no rocks. This is your art project. The only expectations I have, one, which is always in the art room, fill up your white space. There should be no white space on your paper whatsoever. Please take the time to fill it all up so that it looks complete. That's number one. Number two, I want you to show me that you understand how perspective works with things that are closer to the foreground are bigger and then they get smaller. We've done this in art class and we typically have it going this way, but today we did a side perspective road. So we're gonna make sure our cacti go alongside that road and they get smaller as the road gets farther. That's the only two expectations. Fill in your white space and show that you understand perspective by making your cacti large to small. The rest is up to you. I can't wait to see what you're gonna make. Please upload to Class Dojo. It'll be called Perspective Landscape as the activity for this week, and I can't wait to see them.